Very happy today to be having our first digital dialogue with our newest team member, Fannie Marcotte-Bennett, Client Services Director at Digital Engineering. Good morning, Fannie. For those of you who may not know Fannie and have not had the privilege to meet her, I will say one of the first things that you immediately recognize and feel is her contagious energy. And that is something that was immediate to me when I first met Fannie, probably I believe it's been about 7 years ago. And since then, she has served as a mentor of mine in the industry, has become one of my dearest friends. And then, of course, now we are co-workers at Digital. So Fannie brings 12 years of experience in the AEC industry. She offers extensive hands-on client development experience specific to the southeastern Louisiana and Mississippi Gulf Coast region. So today I have a couple of questions and we're going to get to know Fannie a little better. So Fannie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay, so the first question I want to ask you, so many people in business development, as well as a lot of the other non-technical positions, whether you handle marketing, finance, human resources, regardless, but for AEC firms, they state that they didn't necessarily look for this type of career, but the career found them. That seems to be the common thread. So my question is, what drew you to be a client services director? And then what about this role has kept you in the AEC industry?
Well, I'd like to say that, yeah, I agree. I didn't find the role of client services director. The role found me. So the question is quite apropos. I came to work in the AEC industry following 8 years as a governmental employee. And I worked a couple of years just doing a lot of personal assistance for a small firm CEO. You handle a lot of things, some marketing things, some client contacts, and the company merged. We were acquired by a larger firm here regionally. And I would say about 3 months within the acquisitions process, the CEO of the new company called us into the office and said, Fannie, I think that we have something for you to do and I think you're going to do great at it. That is how I stumbled into my career as a client service.
What did you know at the time?
I know at the time. I did kind of stumble into the career. I love what I do. I think that I really was born to do this. I think we're going to talk about this a little bit later on in this series of questions. What keeps me in the industry, I've formed some really strong bonds with coworkers such as you and with a lot of clients. And, AEC really is home since I do come from government. I still maintain a lot of contacts with the same folks that I've worked with. So it's really long-term relationships that are keeping me doing what I do with the AEC.
For you. So in the 12 years you've served as a business developer, how has that role changed, do you think?
I think the role of the business developer, as I see it over the last 12 years, has really changed to adapt to the market. A lot of firms, when I first came on board, had very specific business development and sales roles assigned to one or two folks within the firm. And what I found is that we are moving towards some blended models where we have some engineers that have great personalities and they're able to understand the service side of client relationships, and they're able to listen and bring in opportunities. So my role specifically, I find, has evolved in the fact that I'm able to collaborate a lot with our engineers, kind of have these dialogues that are very dynamic with them to see, what are you hearing? What's the word on the street? What is your client telling you? Just kind of bring that back home in the office and we can have dialogues. And I think that this is where personally my role has evolved most, and how I see the role in the industry has changed a lot to kind of become a coordinator of sort with all of the technical staff that may interact with clients during the course of a day, right, and make sure that we don't miss opportunities as we move through those dialogues with clients.
Yeah, and something I always tell people when your name comes up is you blow me away with the amount of, or the wealth of information that you have when it comes to, whether it's industry trends, funding, that's coming down the pipeline. You have your fingers on the pulse in so many different areas. So you are certainly an asset to our company. And I feel like I can speak for everyone when we're very excited to have you on board. Several of us at DE recently took the Emergenetics test, and we were all, we took the test, and then we received the results that determined our preferred method of thinking. And you were, I believe, one of two people in the company who took the exam or took the test whose preferred method is red. Yes. So share with us what that means and how accurately you think that describes you.
Yes. So the emergenetics profile as a red very much dictates that I am a social thinker. My preferences are to interact with folks. Mm-hmm. I'm very expressive as well. So, and
the spirit is contagious.
Yes, the spirit is contagious. Yeah, very, very expressive. In emergenetics, I am. If you were to take a big circle and split it in three and say, these are the people that are most expressive, I am way at the top. They are only 2% of the population. They're more expressive than I am. We're being up there with the social too. What this means as it relates to my role as a director of client services in the industry is that I really was born to do this. Mm-hmm. It was really interesting to read my profile when it came back to me. It says that I'm a people connector, and I am great with making sure that there is satisfaction and service. Imagine that. So here I've landed in this job where my sole purpose in life is to visit with clients, make sure that they are happy with the things that we're doing, and to make sure that they're connected. Something that is very important in our industry is you become a concierge of sort, because as you talk to your clients, they open up about everything from their personal life to what's going on at home with the contractor or looking for some tile or you name it. I've come across people who are pregnant, who are looking for daycare recommendation. So you become this person that has this repository of data, and you have to say, oh, you know what? I know this guy who's a great tile salesperson. Let me hook you up with them and see. So it's not always about just the engineering side of things. It really is about connecting the human side of things, which is why I love that job.
A true concierge. I think that is a wonderful analogy.
A true concierge, yes.
And sometimes the fire chief.
And sometimes the fire chief, yes. A lot of times the fire chief.
Yeah. So you started digital in January, and then of course now working from home in this role. How have you overcome the challenges of social distancing and the stay-at-home work orders when your role very much revolves around maintaining relationships with clients and, to your point, being that concierge for them or that liaison between them and the firm?
It's been a very difficult adjustment, not only because of the nature of my job, but also because of my preferred red thinking social attributes. I am yearning for social interaction now, so it's been very difficult to be at home. One of the ways that I've managed to stay in touch with my clients is just kind of like do a little check-in from time to time. Some of our clients prefer text messages, just a little, hey, how's everything going? And then some of them like to have phone conversations. And, funny enough, I am still a concierge to my clients. I had a conversation with one of our clients, a project manager, kind of sharing experiences with the homeschooling and work from home. And he was talking to me about the kids who are the same age as my son, going through first grade, going through the whole Common Core math thing. And, he really was struggling, which was funny because he's an engineer, so numbers shouldn't be a secret to him, but kind of struggling with the whole Common Core thing. And, as we talked, we found out that his school is not necessarily as proactive as the school where Zach goes. And I say, you know what, let me just send you all the links to all of the Common Core videos and, the cheat sheets and all of the things that I have. I'm still doing this connecting. It's virtual, but it's been challenging to stay at home and not be able to have the face-to-face interaction with the clients that I'm accustomed to. So we'll see where things go now, but I'm certainly looking forward to sitting across from clients, even if it has to be 6 feet apart. It's going to be okay.
No.
Doing this virtual conference thing,
Yeah, it certainly has been a challenge. And if you're if you're on LinkedIn or you're reading industry articles right now, that's a common challenge that many business developers are facing. And then you have to think, what is appropriate and what is not during this time. And so, yeah, it's been a very unique situation, especially for someone in your role who is very much, that one-on-one interaction. And being there for our clients. But that's a perfect segue into the last question that we have. Not only have you been this full-time professional trying to navigate the work from home challenge, but also a full-time mom who is homeschooling Zach, your son. It's a lot to tackle every single day. So tell us one moment in the past week, and personally or professionally, where you said to yourself, you know what, I got this. Maybe you had a little more pep in your step afterward.
Yeah.
Moments need to be celebrated and recognized.
I try as much as I can to adjust, the schedule based on what's going on with work. So, there are some days where we're clicking and clacking. There are some days where it's not so obvious. And recently, we've had a couple of days where I felt like we were able to really kind of set the stage for my son to have all of the things he needs to be doing while I am behind him doing some Zoom calls. And the timing was just right. And as I had a break from Zoom, I was able to segue into helping him with some of his reading. And then when it was time for us to get back into another virtual conference, he was ready for the next step in his daily lesson. Yeah. We were able to kind of navigate through the whole day with him completing his entire work plan for the day. I was like, we did it.
Yeah.
Like a great moment in time.
And no dogs were barking in the background.
Dogs were going crazy in the background. Full disclosures, the two big dogs have been extremely quiet while we're doing this. So there are days where it's a perfect storm of the dogs barking and Zach wanting a snack, and my other half Marcus coming and saying, "Oh, are you ready? Are you ready for this?" Or is it lunchtime? Trying to blend everything together. So I have those days where I'm able to do everything I set out to do during the day. Zach's able to do his entire work plan, and there is no major disruption. It's yes.
That is success right there. A true boss moment.
It's really interesting how people are just kind of getting into this groove. It's okay for the kids to just kind of come blaring, or for the dog to bark, and everyone's kind of like, okay, yeah, you put yourself on mute and you say, I'll be right back.
Questions that we have for today, but I do appreciate you volunteering to do this. This is the first of many digital dialogues that we hope to have, but again, welcome to the digital family. We are thrilled that you are with us, and we look forward to a long time of working together and having a lot of success. So thank you so much, Fannie.